Hello, everyone. Joey Sparks here, and God's mercies are new again this morning.
Woke up this morning with my mind stayed on Jesus. I woke up this morning with my mind.
As we wind down our Bible rereading plan here at the Parish Church of Christ, where we've encouraged you to read books of the Bible, books of the New Testament, with the goal of rereading them. So read them in sections, but then reread that section so that it's a repetition is building your memory and your knowledge and your understanding of how the book works. We're in the book of Philippians as we wind out the year. To end the year with a focus on joy, to focus on not focusing on our circumstances, but to focus on Christ instead. If we were to poll people, what's your favorite book of the Bible, the favorite book of the New Testament? Philippians would be on that short list of repeated choices, repeated options. This is my favorite book because it's a book of joy. We think about it as a book of joy and rejoicing. We think about it as a book of unselfishness, a book about sacrifice, a book about thinking on good things from chapter 4, especially pressing forward and onto maturity in chapter 3. Why do all those things matter, though? Why does Paul write this? And yes, it's true, Paul's writing it from a state of imprisonment. It's probably not as bad as it sometimes gets pictured. He's not in a dark, terrible dungeon. He's in house arrest situation when you look at Acts 28. But why is he writing this? You want to unlock the key to Philippians. It's not just that Paul's writing it to you or to me to be joyful. He's writing it, it seems clear that he's writing it to a church that he understands could be on the verge of fracture. Look at Philippians 4 and verse 2. I think this is the key to the entire book. I entreat. He's begging. He's taking the time to get their focus and now say, listen up carefully. I entreat Euodia and I entreat Syntyche to agree in the Lord. Yes, I ask you also, true companion, help these women who have labored side by side with me in the gospel together with Clement and the rest of my fellow workers whose names are in the book of life. So why does it matter that we have joy that comes from God? Why does it matter if we have the Philippians 4:13 spirit? Because we're living together, we're working together, we're in a church together. So read this letter not as just you and Paul one-on-one. Read this letter as if you're a member of the church in Philippi. What if you're one of Euodia's family members or Syntyche's family members? What if you are close fellow workers with them in the Lord and you know there's some sort of drama or tension between them? Now he's been writing this letter where he shows his own unselfishness. He shows with great detail and explicitness the sacrifice of Christ. He shows the sacrificial spirit of Timothy and Epaphroditus. Why? So that these two ladies and this church, that's verse 3, right? And this church will exercise that same unselfishness to agree together, to work together once again. It's a challenging book. It's not this positive book that it sometimes gets painted as. It's strong. It's corrective all along the way. You're fighting because you're selfish. You're allowing the fighting because you're selfish. The response should be joy. The response should be sacrifice and unselfishness. So let that challenge you this week and this month as we read and reread Philippians. It's what gives it the life that really does make it this overall helpful and a book with a positive impact. Look at it through the lens of a church member in Philippi. We thank you for watching today. We thank you for reading. It's our prayer God's timeless word will be on your mind all day today.
I woke up this morning.